Governor Ratti mentioned passionately about Kericho. I promise I'll not retaliate. The only thing I want to remind him is that he never told us about his intention to abolish child labor if Naidranas also include children that are running in his county. But that's a subject of debate when I'm look into that. Nonetheless, then, program coordinator, I would wish to indicate to the partners here that Michael Kijana Wamalwa the late, in one of his speeches in Geneva, asked this question that we're going to ask ourselves again today. How is a child? That question was asked so many years ago, and it keeps ringing to our minds to date on the state of the African child. As we speak today, across Kenya, close to 1.3 million children are on labor. They're actually subjects of labor trade, of labor work, and so many of them have been deprived of their potentials. Kericho County is not an exception. And I'm glad this morning that even among the many speakers that have spoken, they all acknowledge that they have some very good memories of Kericho because they were born in Kericho. And Mugo did confirm to me that. And I have tasked Wasiri that there is a cry from Kericho to recall all our children back to Kericho, including His Excellency, the President, who was also born from Kericho, and the many others. And I suspect even Jesus Christ himself must have been born from Kericho. So we are going to do a rallying call seriously with Wasiri, and I've given our task already. So Kericho is not exceptional. For a decade, we have had the tea plantations and the coffee plantations in Kericho. Today, when we look into the labor world, we look into the production of the tea, we pause and ask ourselves, that is the tea we are drinking okay, or this blood tea which is manufactured from the labor and the blood of our children that has been subjected to tea plantations to assist their parents at home. Instead of going to school, they are asked that you only attend school on Monday and Tuesday, the remaining days you remain behind at home to assist your parents to pluck tea and meet the targets for a month for the kilos. We also ask ourselves in the multinational tea estates that Kericho proudly owns, and we are proud to have them, in a manner that at the moment where the tea estates are dealing with contractual labor, where they themselves are not employed directly, but they give out work to contract the rich that are able to be the contract owners with 700 or 800 shillings per day. Then those that have been given the contracts in return goes and look for the children, which often are cheap labor, to come and work in those tea plantations without safety, without the minimum wage of observation, and violating all the regulations. Then it poses the question then that as we move forward, we must then begin to rally behind that the tea in our cups will not be blood tea, but rather decent tea and produced in a decent manner. The future of any nation lies on the strength of the children. And any time the child is deprived of its future, then we rob the nations of its goodness. Then we frustrate and kill a generation. And it is for this reason that as a county, we were the first to actually legalize and make policies and legislations within the County Assembly of Kericho that really speaks to the matters of child labor. And I'm proud as I stand today that Kericho was the first county to make legislations that speak to child labor, passed in the assembly and signed by the executive, gazetted and published. And I believe it is one of those initiatives that we intentionally did to ensure that we protect our children in whatever space that they are in. Secondly, on matters policies, we have had around discussions with the multinational tea sectors, the KDDA and other agencies that are working within the county, including the coffee cooperatives, on the need of creating regulations that make sure that the child is safe and are not used in working in those particular estates or the coffee plantations. To that extent, we have had policies that governs on children. We have had also policies that protect our women. You remember that Kericho County is reeling from one embarrassing situation where we had a BBC expose and where our women were then paraded in international televisions to have been sexually exploited. And also, in my own view, Chief Cabinet Secretary and our Chief Guest today, this sexual exploitation does not just stop with the adults alone, but it also goes to children. Because young girls as early as 10, 12 are also forced to work in this plantation in exchange of sexual favors so that they have been given jobs. And out of desperations and poverty, they mortgage their souls, they mortgage their bodies, they mortgage their dignity in exchange of money and to get jobs in the tea estates and also in the coffee plantations. And it is for this reason that this project would have come at a better time more than today. And we celebrate this project and welcome this project because this is a bold initiative then in ensuring that our children are safe and we have a better generation as we move forward. Conclusively then, as we move forward, some of the action plans that you are putting in as a county includes then transitioning into decent employment. Noticing the need of skilling the labor, we have moved as a county to strengthen vocational training centers. Intentionally, we gave out 3,000 scholarships in the last financial year to skill the labor within our youth, so that even those children that have been tempted to go and work in the tea estates, we keep them in our VTCs, and we graduate them at the right age where they can be employed and where they can stand on their own. We are also doing a campaign to ensure that them that are also working in the tea estates as tea pluckers, we do then also enroll them in our VTCs, skill their labor, so that instead of plucking tea, they can also get, promotions, and they can be co-opted into the skilled labor